And that this psyche, when it experiences a psychodrama, it has to give up its unity. When you have, let's say, the phase before, when you had this unity, where you were whole, the wholeness you had before this trauma happens, then you have to give up the wholeness in order to survive. Only if you give up your wholeness as a person, your wholeness as a psyche, then you can survive. And then, after that, you exist not only as one person, but you exist as 3 different persons. You can't go on saying, I am. You always have to ask the question, who is this part of you that says, I am? And there is one thing that is very important to know and to realize, that even a psyche is traumatized, even there's a lot of destruction put on this person, there still remains the human healthy psyche. You can't destroy the human psyche by a trauma. You only can destroy the human psyche by killing the person, but not by traumatizing the person. That I learned from many cases with working with people that are severely traumatized, and still remains a part of them that has a human psyche, where the human psyche functions healthily. I think it's very important, because what I believe, meanwhile, nearly 100% of human beings are traumatized. If you look what they do all the time, and how much trauma they put on each other all the time, not stopping it. I'm still optimistic, because even if 100% of human beings are traumatized, they still do have a healthy psyche. They could make use of it if they want, if they are taught, if they are told. So that means the healthy parts, there are still healthy parts, there is still a healthy personality inside you, even if you are traumatized. But there are 2 others. There is the second personality you have inside you. This is what I call the traumatized part of the psyche, that you could call the traumatized identity, the traumatized personality. And there's a third part, a third personality, the personality of the surviving parts. The personality with surviving strategies. The personality that is, what I told you before, for example, trying to create some realities in order to not be always in contact with the trauma, to split off from the trauma. So this border between the traumatized part and the surviving part is very, very important, as long as you do not have enough capacities in your healthy part to let go of this border. But when on the one side, this surviving strategy and mechanism, they are also unconscious and conscious. When they start to establish, they are quite unconscious. Later on, you develop them consciously. You justify them. You say they are rational. They are the only way to live. Yeah. So we have unconscious part of the surviving mechanism. We have also a conscious part of the surviving mechanism. And there's a huge conflict now. You see a huge conflict between these traumatized parts that still are in this mode of nearly dying, nearly no space to develop, and those surviving parts that suppress them, that fight against them, that do not want them to come into consciousness. There's a huge inner conflict. And sometimes the healthy part is just an observer, just able to observe these conflicts, but not yet able to be this part that says, okay, come together, come, please come, let's sort it out. Let's sort it out. It's really necessary to have this amount of strategies, surviving strategies. Is it really necessary to be afraid of these trauma feelings? Is it really like this? Is it really like this as if we still in the womb time? Is it really like this as if our parents are punishing us and rejecting us? Yeah? That this healthy part can do it, they have to grow. They have to develop. They have to be, again, those parts that say, okay, now I'm going on. I want to see how can we solve the conflict without a split. Because our surviving strategies, they think, without a split, you're going to die. If you're not splitting off, if you're not denying what happened, you want to die. In the moment, you fall down in the abyss of the trauma, and you won't be here any longer. They are deeply convinced that splitting is the solution. But it turns out that splitting is the problem. What they think is the solution, it is the problem. Fighting against terrorists, for example, is not a solution, it's a problem. You can see it in many layers in our daily life. Yeah, in a way, they think, the surviving part thinks that the traumatized parts are the terrorists inside ourselves.